Welcome to the module on studying for an exam. It's test time. You've had lectures, taken notes, and read chapters. Now you will show what you know. How will you prepare? In this module, you will learn techniques to organize your study, get tips for using individual and group study time effectively, gain an effective method for memorizing terms and lists, and get advice for staying healthy through exam times. Hopefully, you've used a method for note-taking such as the Cornell method. Your notes will be a valuable resource. You've also been asked to make flashcards or create a Quizlet account. You will need to have this resource ready. Also, gather any study guides or lists of terms provided by your instructor. Your notes are helpful for developing test questions. In the Cornell style of note-taking, there's a section in your paper to write questions. Go through your notes to create a list of questions that you predict your instructor will ask on the test. The questions from your notes will be especially helpful for essay questions and items in which you're asked to create lists. Make sure you have flashcard or Quizlet definitions that will help you remember what is important about key terms. Your flashcards will be helpful for identification-oriented questions. Okay, now you're ready. It's group study time. Great idea, right? Not so fast. Study groups can be very helpful, but unorganized groups can waste a lot of time. There are some steps that will be helpful to take first. So we'll begin with individual study. Choose questions or tasks that you think will require longer answers. Here's an example of a test item like that. Discuss the reasons outlined in the Declaration of Independence for the American Revolution. Practice creating a written response for each of these items. In other words, write out responses like you were taking the test. Quiz yourself using your flashcards. Pull out cards when you can easily answer the questions or identify the terms on them. Keep working with cards that have more difficult terms. There are two big keys for success. The first is having the right information, asking the right questions, and studying the right terms. Pretty obvious, huh? Second is having a time and place at which you're able to concentrate. Like other effective study times, turn distractions off. After making time to study individually, meeting with a group or study partner can be very beneficial. Choose people who will be prepared and willing to work. Some people are great to hang out with, but don't make good study partners. The benefit of study groups or partners is that others may have thought of questions or important parts of answers that you didn't think about. You may even disagree about something and need to look up an answer together. Mnemonics. Sometimes you just have to memorize a term or list. Mnemonics are effective for recalling important words. Here are some examples that you may be familiar with. Never eat soggy waffles is used to remember north, south, east, and west. I before E except after C is a spelling rule. Mnemonics can be acrostics, rhymes, or words that sound similar to words that you're memorizing. You might create a little story to recall the association. Here's an example. Imagine that for a literature test, you need to remember the two famous novels written by Victor Hugo. You have a lot of titles to remember, so you might easily confuse them. Hugo wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Les Miserables. Maybe you don't know much about Notre Dame, the cathedral in Paris, but you do know about Notre Dame football. This team is huge, which can be associated with Victor Hugo. If their linemen run you over, you will be miserable, which reminds you of Les Miserables. Try making a mnemonic for your test. They're actually fun and have been demonstrated to be effective. Does cramming work? Some people stay up late at night to prepare for a test the next day. This has two pitfalls. Number one, a sleepy mind is less effective at night and in the morning. Number two, when you cram, you only build short-term memory. This information is easy to lose. So for effective study time, here's what you can do. To make study time effective, review your notes regularly. Start preparing for a test several days in advance. Eat well, exercise, and sleep. Regular disciplined study time is much more effective than cramming. When you leave the study session, your brain is still processing what you studied. You will actually continue to organize your thoughts between your study sessions. So, is a test coming up? Organize your notes and flashcards. Write out longer answers and drill yourself on terms. Create some mnemonics to help you recall important words. Choose study partners who will be helpful and prepare before you meet together. And schedule regular times to study and stay balanced and healthy. Okay, so now you're off and running, and remember, you can do this. Thanks for watching.